What's up, world?
Happy New Year.
Yep, Happy New Year. It's been a while.
It has.
Spent a lot of time out at our place in Mississippi and just been with my kids. So.
And I've been sick and dealing with stuff, and we just hadn't been able to get together. But we're like, we're doing it.
Here we are.
It's been a while. So I got some more step questions. I think it's fun to do, just to bring up conversations and I don't know, just part of recovery. I know that it's really helping me in my own daily life as I read these and we answer questions together. It just makes me think more about like where I am and just more things to let go of in my own life. So we'll see, where it goes. So step 3 is we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. So as addicts, we turn our will and our lives over many times to a destructive power. Our will and our lives were controlled by drugs. We were trapped by our need for instant gratification that drugs gave us. And whatever your addiction is, because it's anything, like truly. During that time, our total being, body, mind, and spirit, was dominated by addiction. It says drugs, but really addiction. I think about that, just about how so many things in our lives, like food. I know that for myself, like sometimes even like food can dominate my thinking, or sugar. Like I'll get like a major like craving for sugar, and I just want sugar, and it's really weird how that happens. How little things like that can dominate our entire being. This step 3 is a giant step. We don't have to be religious. Anyone can take this step. All that is required is willingness. All that is essential is that we open the door to a power that is greater than ourselves. And we talked about that in the last one, like a power that is greater than ourselves.
Yeah, something that's always pointed out is it's just made a decision. You're not even really taking an action yet. You're just making a decision to do something. They always say 3 frogs decide to jump off of a log. How many frogs are on the log? 3 frogs.
Oh, right.
None of them jumped. They just decided. So you are deciding to make a change, because what I've been doing just isn't working.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And it says we made the decision. It was not made for us by the drugs, our families, a probation officer, judge, therapist, or doctor. We made it. For the first time since that first high, we have made the decision for ourselves.
Yeah, that's great, because I've had that decision made for me by all of those. I've had every single one of those tell me that I had to make a change. And it's just, how can I beat it? How can I get around it? Even playing with the law, it's sick. It's a really sick way to live. But to finally just say, I want to do this for myself. I don't want to live this way. And it's not to make anybody change. It's not to convince anybody of anything. I'm just worn out. It's not that life is not something that I want anymore. So
yeah, and the only way we can change for ourselves is to want it ourselves. Like we can't, it's not about other people. Like I can want you to change, and I can make your life so uncomfortable for you, for anybody, for anyone in my life, like, and that's where that control and that codependency comes in. Like we want people in our lives so bad to change who are, in real active addiction, and we don't, and that's where we fail to recognize our own active addiction whenever we're trying to control everybody. It's kind of funny how that works.
Codependency.
So the word decision, it implies action. This decision is based on faith. We have to believe that the miracle that we see working in the lives of clean addicts can happen to any addict with the desire to change. And I really love that we can look around us at people's lives and see the miracles happen in people's lives, and see the people who truly have like this sense of peace and joy and happiness, and they just like exude love for everyone. And we can look and see, like, what are they doing? What are choices are they making in their life that is bringing this into their life? And then just like do as they do.
Yeah.
I mean, and we may have to tweak it for ourselves, in certain things, because we each have our path with God. And so everything that works for Corey might not necessarily work for me, but the basic, fundamental, foundational things are so simple and so true and so easy, and they just work. And it's in our action, it's in doing them.
Yep. We don't have to change anything about it. It's worked for millions of people.
Surrendering to the will of our higher power gets easier with daily practice. When we honestly try, it works. And so that's really, well, I guess this last one. If we are thorough and sincere, we will notice a change for the better. And that's what it is. If we are truly choosing for ourselves to make these changes, we're gonna notice. Our fears are lessened, and faith begins to grow as we learn the true meaning of surrender. We're no longer fighting fear, anger, guilt, self-pity, or depression.
That's cool.
This is my life right now. Like, I am experiencing this. Like, my fears are lessening because whenever a fear comes into my mind, I recognize it for truly what it is. And we're told to fear not, doubt not, and fear not. And so it's like I'm reminded of that. And just surrendering. I finally today really have an understanding of the true meaning of surrender, like I never have in my life before. And I'm so grateful for that. And I recognize my life changing because of it.
Yeah. Life is definitely a lot easier when we turn it over to God, our higher power, make a decision to turn our will and our life over to Him. I mean, everything changes. Everything changes for me. I know that. That's, it's, if I'm not trying to control it, and we've said it many times, every single time that I decide that I am going to give it to God, my life just gets easier. Every time. It is. So we got some more questions.
We have a few questions. Some of these questions have like a lot of questions within the questions, so we'll see.
Cool. All right. What steps do you take to keep your higher power at the forefront of your mind each day? Do you find it challenging to make the necessary effort to maintain your sobriety and work towards recovery? What obstacles prevent you from putting in the necessary effort?
Let's start with that first one.
Yeah.
So what steps do you take?
Starting off with prayer. I don't know. I've thought about it a lot. Like, I just pray all the time. I really do. I crank my car and I'm just grateful. Thank you for my car cranking. I mean, just everything in my life. It's just become habitual. I literally, I understand to pray always. It's just, it's part of my life.
Yeah, me too. And in the last, I think one of the last videos I said something about how I'm a spiritual being. Like, I just see everything through spirit. And so truly throughout my day, like, I start it with prayer. So, and I invite Him, I surrender my day. Like, I just want to be more for Him. And then throughout my day, like, I'll meditate. I'll take time to sit and to meditate, to truly like connect and just listen instead of me praying out loud and asking or thanking or just whatever, I'll sit and just listen. And then I also read really good stuff, and read scripture, and even, even as I'm cooking, I mean, that might sound silly, but even as I cook, and especially whenever I cook for other people, I do it with like intention, and I do it with prayer and thinking about how the food that I'm preparing, I want it to nourish people. It's like I put my intention of love into it. It's just those little things. It just keeps me connected to him, to a higher power.
Yeah, no doubt. Is it challenging to make the necessary effort to maintain your sobriety and work towards recovery? This time it's just not. I know how quick the pain comes, and I just don't want it. I mean, it's like I know that the consequences will happen immediately. It's not like I've got a few months where I can go run around and be. It just, my life falls apart immediately, and that's just miserable. It's not a way to live.
So do you find it challenging to make the necessary effort to maintain? So there are times that I find that it is a little challenging. Whenever I start to feel sick, whenever I start to not feel well, I find that I get out of like my habits that I get into, because I tend to just not feel good. My energy gets lower. I've been working on that really a lot with yoga, because I started a challenge for like doing yoga every day. And I've been doing it even though I haven't been feeling good. And so it's like just doing that, it keeps consistency in my life, and it also just gives me that dopamine, that feel good, like I'm doing something good for myself, and just to show myself that even when I have challenges and I'm not feeling the greatest, that I can continue to do the things that are necessary to maintain my recovery and to keep me focused and like aligned with it. But it can be challenging at times.
It is, but it's funny because we know that going to the gym and working out, or doing yoga, or meditating, or doing those things, that it's once we do it, it's just, life is easier. Things just feel better, and it's like, why is that even a challenge to treat myself good?
Yeah, it's really weird.
It is. It's like, I don't know. Do I not deserve to feel good?
Right.
I don't know. What obstacles prevent you from putting in the necessary effort? I think being sick, that's definitely an obstacle. I mean, there's just been junk going around Louisiana for the last month. Everybody's had something at one point, seems like.
And too, sometimes, like holidays, the change in routine, like you having your kids, I mean, that totally throws it makes things different. Other people in our lives maybe getting sick or going on vacations, there are things that can create challenges and obstacles that make it feel like challenging. Because I think that as we step into recovery, it's like, I know for myself that I really need routine,
structure,
and structure, sure. and I need those daily habits to keep me going. And so whenever things get changed, like when things change for me, it gets a little bit harder. But I think that is truly where the surrendering comes in, and allowing God to help us through those times. Because if we're trying to control it and what happens is we try to control it with our routines, because we get so controlling with our routines. Like our routines are what become our gods, And so like if anything outside of that happens, it throws us off because we're trying to control it. And so if we just continue to surrender our days And even if we're on vacation or we're sick or whatever the case may be, God is able, our higher power is able to help us through that day and stay connected with Him. And it may be different than when we're in our habits and in our routines, but it's all good when we're surrendering.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it is supposed to be.
Life is definitely a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
These holidays were really difficult for whatever reason. Last year seemed to be a lot easier. I was just in a better place, more time. But yeah, it's just been the change of the routine and the holidays and everybody. I don't know. It was difficult.
It was different for us too.
Was it?
Yeah, because I mean, this was the first Christmas that I didn't wake up and my kids were in my house, or I was in their house, and we were all together, and so it was different. And then they got COVID, and then it just felt different. I didn't even put up a Christmas tree. I mean, it was just different.
It was a different year.
But it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
If they were all the same, it wouldn't be fun. Wouldn't be life. Have you had positive experiences with trust in the past? Yeah. I have serious trust issues. That's definitely something I'm aware of. And it is a character defect of mine, and I work on it a lot. I got trust issues. Have you ever felt let down or betrayed by someone you trusted? Yes. Do these experiences make it difficult for you to trust others now? I want to trust others. I can't imagine living in a life where I don't trust others, that I don't trust people, because I know there's a lot of good people. But I think that some of my experiences have probably... I guess I'll get to that when I get to that. I don't know. Like relationship-wise and stuff, trust. Have I ever had it? I don't know. But...
So, we did a video a while back, and we talked about trust. And I had been studying in my scriptures about trust because I had a trigger come up about trust, I can remember. And I learned at that time that we're told in the scriptures not to trust man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're just told not to, because we can't. I mean, we're all so flawed people, and I'm going to disappoint people.
Yeah.
You know, people who put their trust in me, please don't. Just don't, because I'm probably going to disappoint you at some point. And so my trust is, like, I'm learning that my trust is only in God. And I have had experiences, I was thinking about that. Have I had positive experiences with trust in the past? And I was like, I mean, I guess, but the things that really come to me is all the negative experiences that I've had with trust when it comes to people. Like, I mean, I've been hurt time and time and time again. I have felt let down. I've felt betrayed by people that I have trusted. And it's my expectations of those people that I put upon them,
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. There's no reason we are all imperfect. I'm going to let somebody down if they rely on me. I mean, that's just, I'm never going to meet up to those expectations. I'm not going to meet up to my own expectations of myself, much less if somebody else has them of me. So who am I to really put my trust into somebody else other than God? Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah, and I think, we have to... It's like, I don't know what other word besides trust. I don't know if it's like have belief in someone, or have faith in someone, or have like hope in someone, because it's like we want to believe that, like, if I need you, you're going to be there. Mm-hmm. I can trust that. But I mean, we really can never put our trust in people. But
that person might die. I mean, the body's imperfect, literally. Right. I mean, they could be on their way to actually come help you, and you're trusting that they're going to arrive, and they get in a wreck, and they're at the hospital. You know what I mean? You can't.
No.
We can only trust that God's going to take care of us.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where that question wanted us to go, but that's
Probably not.
Nuh-uh. But yeah, when it comes to positive experiences with trust in the past, I mean, that's the bottom line, is putting trust in people is, I'm always, that's just putting expectations on people, and it's not okay. It's not good. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for a relationship. The only thing I can do is put my faith in God and surrender all the people that I love over to Him. And trust in God to take care of them. So.
And you know, it might be kind of difficult for people to hear, like, well, I want to trust my spouse that they're not going to like step out on me and, you know, and have an affair, or I want to trust that, like, you're not going to do drugs again, or, you know, it's like we want to have that trust in people, you know, and so y'all might have a difficult time hearing this, that like we're just not, we're told not to. We're really told not to. But we want to have, especially within marriages, I mean, we need that level of
honesty.
Yeah. Yes. Honesty. Yeah. It's honesty. Yeah, it's not about trust, it's about honesty. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
I don't need to trust that somebody's going to do something because their body might fail them, something might happen. I mean, anything. But yeah, honesty is it.
Yeah.
And you know, once you've lost that, how do you get it back? I don't know. Maybe time will tell. But
being honest.
Yeah, being honest
being
today.
More honest.
Being honest right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's good.
How do you feel about giving up control to a higher power? Does it feel scary or comforting? Are you willing to surrender control to something greater than yourself? I love it.
Oh, so do I. It feels so good.
Yeah, good breath. It is. It's just to know that I don't have to do anything, that I don't have to be in control of anything. And what a great peace. You know,
it is.
God's got my life, and I don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about anything really. I choose to worry about stuff, and I have to go back to prayer and meditation to get back in alignment, but I really don't have to worry about anything. Things are going to happen. Pain's going to happen. Things are going to happen in life. It's life, but most things that we worry about don't happen.
Right.
And the other percentage of things that we worry about happen completely differently than we're worrying about them anyway. So what's the point in worrying?
Oh, yeah. I feel so good about giving control over. It just brings so much such a relief. Like, I recognized that I was having this control thoughts and issues just like an hour ago, whenever Corey was on his way, and then my son was also on his way to my house at the same time, and they have to press a pad, and then it comes up on my phone, and I have to let them in. And I thought, well, I started getting in my head, well, if Corey gets here before then, and then Hayden needs to get in, then I'm going to be interrupted during the recording. And I was just making these scenarios all in my head, and I'm just like, then Hayden might get, I was just creating so much, and I was in so much control, trying to think, well, how can I control this situation? How can I make things, where it's all going to flow, and I was just like, what am I doing? Like, truly, like, God orchestrates all of us, and why do I feel like I have to get in there and control any of it? Like, it happened perfectly. And it's like, and Corey got to meet my son and his boyfriend, and to be able to just, like, I don't know, things just happen in ways that were we try to control stuff, like we just get in the way, and we make ourselves anxious, and we create so much within us. And once I recognized what I was doing, like that I was in this place, I was like, I let it go. I totally just let it go, and I was like, it's all gonna just happen however it needs to. And there was such a relief, like it just left, and I was like, however it happens is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And it's just those little, it's experiences like that that happen throughout the day. And I love that today I'm able to catch myself, and I'm able to recognize that I'm in my head and trying to control things, and that I don't have to, like I can totally at any moment just give it up and just let it go, and that peace returns.
Yeah, it feels so good. And I went from really surrendering everything to really taking it all back over the last year. You know, there was just this huge transition in the lifestyle of giving my life to God and allowing Him to direct me, and knowing that what's going to be is going to be, and it's going to be okay. You know, like I said, we are here to experience and learn. We're going to experience pain. We're going to experience so many different emotions and just things in life, and the trying to control it just makes it harder.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it more painful. It hurts other people. I mean, it just, when we try and control everything and just put our own will in, it just makes everything more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So take it.
No, please. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that we have that in our lives, that we can do that.
Just
you know,
give
that
up.
He has given us, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a positive thing.
It is.
I love it.
I've been defeated. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
You want to read it?
All right, one more. Are there specific behaviors or character traits that continue to cause problems in your life? Are there things that you struggle to let go of despite knowing they're detrimental to your well-being? What steps can you take to work on surrendering these issues? So are there specific behaviors or character traits that continue to cause problems? I mean, of course.
Yeah, wanting to control things, wanting to be a perfectionist, wanting to be more than I am, instead of just being at peace with where I'm at.
That's a big one for me.
Comparing myself to others and what they have, the things I've passed up, the opportunities, just being mean to myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not living with my life in God's hands.
Mm-hmm. I love the fact that I'm so aware of this like when you come into recovery, it's like you really open yourself up, and it's like, please show me, just show me and help me to see. And when you're open to that, I mean, He really does, like, He helps us to recognize these things in our daily lives. And so, like, the other day, I recognized a character trait that popped up whenever I was, like, eating Tostitos with my husband, and he came in and he was wanting some, and I was like, I started feeling selfish, and I started feeling like he was going to eat them all, and I wasn't liking that in my head. Like, I didn't say anything, but the whole time I'm thinking, he's going to eat all my Tostitos. Like they're mine, It's just crazy how it's a behavior that I learned, and I don't know if it's
my kids do it, I do it.
It's
no,
like,
it's in our family for sure.
But it's like, is it just our family, or is it like people?
I think people want to be first. They want to get in line. Since elementary school.
But I can remember our family, like Mom would come home from the grocery store, and we would all be like, oh, food, and so we wouldn't want anyone else to take it, so we would take it, hide stuff, and just like, what is that?
Yeah.
But it's a
lack mentality. Like
it is.
You said.
It's a lack mentality, and so it's like, it's a behavior and it's a character trait that the way it causes problems in my life is that it gets in there and it starts to make me think, and it brings down my, like, it made me feel selfish. I mean, and those are negative things. It makes me feel that lack. It's not love.
We didn't learn it from our parents. Because,
No,
they
no.
just, you take here, have more. And we're all like, well, where can I put it? So I can have it for later.
Yes.
I mean, it's definitely not something we were taught, but it's something we learned somehow.
Yeah.
And I think that it's America. I think we all just want to
Hoard.
5 of everything. I want more. I need more. How can I consume? It's all in our face all the time. And we all need more. I mean, that is just a non-stop topic of the day.
Yeah, that's true.
Your phone's going to tell you all day long what you need and what you don't have. So how dare somebody come eat my Tostitos because I might run out when the store's right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's crazy
It
thinking.
It is. I was talking about that last night with my kids, and I ended up watching you talk about that. It's funny. It's because he literally, I cut the sandwich in half, and it was a little bit bigger, and first thing he does is look at his sister's plate, and I'm remembering myself always looking at Carrie's plate.
Yeah.
Did she get more than me?
Comparing.
It's like, just eat what you got.
Oh, it's so weird how our brains are like that.
Yeah. Where'd it come from? I don't know, but I know America's got it. It's definitely something that's just pushed on us, the consumerism thing. Addictive behaviors are definitely more, you know. So...
And I'm grateful that God, like, he's making me aware of it. Like, the Spirit is helping me and showing me that, okay, this is not aligned with the Spirit. Like, this is something that has been learned. And since it's something that I learn, I can change it. I can learn a different way. I don't have to be that way. Just because everyone around me is like that doesn't mean that I have to continue to be like that.
Yeah.
And so I love whenever I have those moments of eat my Tostitos, you know, it's just such a random thing, but he's showing me that I have this pattern, this thought behavior within myself that needs to change, that needs to go away. And so
yeah, and that's great. That's all progress.
it is.
And there are things that I struggle letting go of despite knowing they're detrimental to my well-being, you know. But I am aware of the struggle and I'm working on changing it, so it's progress.
It is.
And I'm definitely, I've been working a lot on surrendering, giving it to God. Because I don't want what I've had in the past. I don't want anything to do with the way my life was in the past. But there are a lot of things about my past life that if God wants to reorganize them and put them back in my life in a way that's healthy, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
You know. But I don't want the insanity. The whole addiction, thinking process, codependency, just everything that goes with it. It's very unhealthy. So.
What steps can you take to work on surrendering these issues? We are, you know, I think that, like, being in recovery, doing this, like, just talking about it, just recognizing it when it happens, whenever we just recognize our thoughts are just not with the Spirit. Like, that's one thing, is just constantly asking for the Spirit to be in my life, to show me. Like, he is showing me where to surrender daily. I mean, like I said, just before we even did this, I had an opportunity to surrender again, you know, just my thinking. I recognize so much is just within my head and in my thoughts. And I mean, that's really where our lives are. Our world, our experience, everything is just really, it's all in our head. And it's just becoming aware of our thoughts, recognizing when they're not in alignment with the Spirit, asking, well, show me how. Like, how do I change? And it's just in surrendering. It's just letting it go.
Writing, talking about it. I mean, yeah, you let it go. Put it on paper. Speak it out loud. Whatever.
Yeah.
It loses its control really fast.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. Like, we just had our 1-year anniversary was yesterday. We've been doing this for a year, and it's so funny because I was watching our first video that we did, and it was so uncomfortable, and just watching it makes me uncomfortable because I can just remember, and it's just like to see where we were and to see where we are today. I'm just so grateful that God has brought us here, and I'm just excited to see how it's going to continue to unfold for us and what's going to happen.
Got a lot of learning and a lot of progress, but we are exactly where we're supposed to be right now.
Yep.
So.
And thank y'all for being here with us and going through it and just all of it. I'm grateful.
Life is good.
It is.
Yeah, love y'all.
Bye, y'all.